the book talk today, we're looking at Ernest Cline's work, Armada. This book came out in 2015, which means it was released between Ready Player One and Ready Player Two. Though I have a theory that the book was not written between the two of them. I believe it's possible that this was something that Ernest Cline wrote a long time ago, probably before writing Ready Player One. And my crazy theory is that the publishing company said, hey, we're making a lot of money from Ready Player One, what else have you got? And he was like, oh, I got this old thing sitting in a drawer, and pulled it out and maybe just glanced back over it and handed it over for publishing. I don't know. For me, this was just a 2-star out of 5-star read, and I couldn't believe that the person who'd written Ready Player One had come out with this, because the book could have been much better. In fact, if you want a better story, I would recommend that you just read Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Or if you feel like Ender's Game is too serious, that perhaps you watch the movie The Last Starfighter, which was a 1980s movie, 1984 space opera. But both of those are stories about a character who plays video games and ends up being recruited by the government to fight aliens in huge space battle, which is a great concept. It is interesting, but I thought strange for Ernest Cline to publish a 2015 novel about the same issue. Critics who really attacked this movie, and I think deservedly so, also pointed out that Terry Pratchett wrote a work that was published in 1992 called Only You Can Save Mankind. I missed out on Only You Can Save Mankind, so maybe I should go back and read Terry Pratchett's book. Maybe I would enjoy the humor and such in that more than I enjoyed Armada. Armada does have pop culture references. It does have a conspiracy theory angle, which is the kind of stuff that I usually enjoy, but it felt way too immature, it felt way too contrived, and as much as I like being able to figure out the plot twists and endings and predict them, this one was too predictable, to the point that it felt like a cheesy 1980s film. And I think that's a big difference between Armada and Ready Player One, because to me, Ready Player One felt really refreshing and interesting, and it used the references to allow the reader to feel included in the moment and to think back to it, rather than in this instance in which the references seemed odd because it was as if Ernest Cline was trying to remake what existed back in the 80s. And if his goal was just to reproduce that early 80s cheesy sci-fi feel, then he accomplished that. Like if his goal was to just write basically a children's sci-fi story that was predictable with a guy who plays video games and gets recruited by the government and fights aliens, then it worked. Good job, Ernest Cline. And honestly, when you look online, a lot of readers did enjoy this story, so it's possible that I'm just one of the naysayers here. In general, I'm not an Ernest Cline hater, because I know I absolutely loved Ready Player One and Ready Player Two. This book just fell flat to me. At the same time, though, if you asked me whether or not I would recommend the book, I would not just give a flat no as an answer. I would say if you are a true fan of Ready Player One and you want to say that you've read all of Ernest Cline's published books, then I would say yes, go ahead and read the book. But that is the only circumstance in which I would really recommend this work. Most people, if they asked me, should I read Armada or not, I would say no, it's not worth your time. Enjoy Ender's Game or The Last Starfighter, or go check out that book by Terry Pratchett. I mean, that's what a 1 or 2 star review means. It means I really don't recommend this book. The point at which I give it 3 stars means yes, I recommend it, it can be entertaining, worth your time really. And of course 4 or 5 stars means that it was awesome, phenomenal, that it reached me on some sort of emotional level really, more than just regular entertainment. I don't give a lot of 1 or 2 star reviews, so I think that says a lot about what this is. Hope you enjoyed the book talk today. Join me tomorrow as we continue looking at some fun science fiction works that either have been turned into movies or are probably going to be turned into movies, which, by the way, this book has a movie deal. They have paid Ernest Cline at least $1 million. I don't know how many millions of dollars for the film rights to make this. And I think they started working on the project around 2018. But anyway, every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.